Our team has sold over a whopping $225 million in premium just last year alone, and over 7,000 salespeople have been paid. Whether you're a single mom, a grocery bagger, work at the junkyard, a successful doctor looking to make passive income, or an executive tired of the 9-to-5 BS, we're here to interview top producers and managers to help you accomplish your goals and dreams.
Hello, everybody. Andrew Taylor here. Today we have Christina Ande with us. Thank you for joining us.
Woohoo.
And we're gonna, we got Nicolette and Jay with us too. We're gonna ask you some questions on referrals. But first, I just kind of want to get a little bit about your background. How'd you end up selling life insurance?
Yeah, so I was in fashion for like 8 years, got my degree in fashion marketing. I was a wholesale rep in Chicago for like 10 different fashion lines, and then COVID hit, and like a lot of people, I lost my job.
Is it kind of like the show my wife watches, Emily in Paris?
Yes and no. I'm not that annoying. But like yes and no. So it was very much, that kind of world, which I loved. I was very much into, the brands and stuff like that. But when, COVID hit and I lost my job, I was like, oh my gosh, okay, I'm going to take a few months to like go back to Miami. I was living in Chicago at the time. So I went back to Miami, saw friends, family. And then I was like, okay, well, I need to like go back to work. So I started applying for places, and the only places that were hiring was insurance. And I interviewed with 3 different companies before I settled on one. So again, like most people, I had a practice company first. And I was there for 3 years. And then finally, Jay convinced us to make the best decision ever. And we came over to FFL. So
How do you convince you? Let's hear his side
No,
of the
it wasn't
story.
even like convincing. Patrick would hit me up. He's like, "Hey, why did you leave?" Told him why I left. Then he'd like hit me back like 4 months later, be like, "So you liking it?" I was like, "Yeah, dude, I love it." Then a year goes by, he'd be like, "You still liking it?" I was like, "Dude, I love it." I'm like, "You coming over?" He goes, "No, I'm never gonna come over." And then a year goes by, he's like, "Hey, dude, you still liking it?" I'm like, "Yeah, dude, I love it here." And then 8 months ago, he's like, "All right, dude, I'm just gonna sign the contract. I don't care anymore. Let's just do it."
yeah.
And Patrick's your fiance.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, what have you actually sold? Like, what do you do per month with sales?
So the last year, I honestly, in the transition, I kind of like took a step back for a little bit. And I told Jay, I was like, I'm just kind of taking a step back, and now I'm going full force this year. So this month I'm on track to do 40,000, but typically I was doing like 20. So a little lower for my personal production that I usually do, but now we're stepping into high gear, baby.
And so you're good at referrals,
Yeah, that's
Insane.
my
which means
bread
you're
and butter.
smarter than me because I just buy more leads instead of getting referrals.
Yeah.
And you actually are like, wait a second, I could just help their friends
Yeah.
and people they know. So we're going to talk a lot about that today. Is Patrick here too?
No, Patrick's not here now.
Okay, so he ended up coming over, talked you into doing it, and then what does he do now?
Oh, no, he's still at FFL. He's just
Oh.
not here personally in Vegas right now.
Got it. But he's in F. So you guys do it together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you guys ever fight? Like, want to kill each other working together?
Honestly, a lot of people think that. They're like, how do you guys live together, work together, do everything? But like, we work really well together. I think that's what drew us to each other in the first place. It's like easy when you have a best friend who completely understands your day in and day out of what your actual life is. And I think if I dated someone that wasn't in insurance, I don't know that they'd really understand like the grind of what it takes, to be really good at something. So I think for us, it's more uplifting than ever like fighting. But I think, getting us to come over to FFL, like it was a little like scary for us. And I was like, we weren't on the same page at first. And then I just trusted him, and now I'm so happy and I'm like all in. So it's kind of funny how that works.
Yeah,
That's pretty cool.
the biggest thing they would always say is that chargebacks come out of your bank account. So Patrick would ask me like 10 times, like, "Dude, they don't come out of your bank account, right?" Like, that was like their main concern was chargebacks coming
There's
out.
a lot of crazy rumors about us,
A ton.
but
It's
it just
insane.
keeps sending more people here. So, like, have you
Mhm.
ever seen the movie Straight Outta Compton?
Yeah.
And remember when, like, the government published something about them, about how bad their songs were, and then their sales went to like millions the next day?
Yeah.
And then they go bad publicity is good publicity or something. All
Yeah.
publicity is good publicity. Well, people keep ragging us
Mm-hmm.
on stuff that's not even true, and then people keep calling us to work here.
Yeah.
100%.
So it's funny. A company just sent an email out with our comp grid, because they wanted their agents to know that their company was better, but they only did up to 90%. They left out the up to 145%. And they sent it to their whole company. And I'm thinking like, dude, most people probably didn't even know about us.
Now they do.
And now
And
they
they
do.
probably cropped it. They just,
No, they did crop it.
All you got to do is look on Instagram.
yeah.
You'll find the full thing.
Yeah.
Also, when you see things, like it does raise your awareness. And I think that was the thing. Like, it took us a little while to make that change, but I'm so grateful we did. And unfortunately, you just hear bad things through the pipeline, but it makes you ask more questions.
Yeah.
Usually, when you're somewhere that you know things are not sounding right, you ask those questions and you find out the truth. So,
Well, we do these podcasts to educate people, and we also do it to recruit more people, and kind of let people know about what we're doing. So when we go through this, if you guys want to work with this team, we'll get you their information. If you want to get started in licensing, we'll get you this information. If you complain a lot and nothing ever goes good, we actually don't want you to call us. And if you're looking for reasons for things to not work, we don't want you to call us. Please. We're looking for people. What are you looking for when you're going to hire somebody?
honestly, just motivated, open minded, and willing to learn and grow. I think that's the biggest thing. Doesn't take a rocket scientist to learn life insurance, which is the best thing. You know, you don't have to have any prior experience. Just be ready to show up and work. And if you're ready to put in the work, you're going to be successful if you follow the steps that were in
Well,
front of
you might not. We always
Well,
have to tell
that's
people
true.
some people do not become successful. A lot of people fail in this industry. A
Mhm.
lot of
Yeah.
people. So I always tell people, don't quit your job and jump into this.
Yeah.
This is a business.
Mhm.
And now Jay is crazy. He probably quit his job. Did you have a regular job before you
I
started
did
doing
not-
this?
No, I did not have a job. I just asked my mom for like $100 a week.
And that's what you got?
Yeah, $50 went to booze probably.
What'd you eat? Like,
What I eat? Ramen, Wendy's, the biggie bags, the 5 for $5.
biggie bags?
You never had a biggie bag?
No,
You-
but I
you've had-
want one
you
right
guys have
now.
had biggie
No.
bags, right?
Nicolette could definitely get a biggie bag because
Yeah, biggie bags. Yeah, no, I was destroying those. But no, I think to go
you get
back.
5 sandwiches.
No, it's like sandwiches. It's like sandwich, fries, drink, like 2 other things.
It's like the Taco Bell, like the $5, the Taco Bell box. It's like that, but for Wendy's.
Mm.
I'm a time guy. I don't cook. I don't do any of that. Like I like DoorDash it and stuff like that.
Legit.
Or he calls someone to DoorDash. it.
Yeah, he called you today to DoorDash
DoorDash.
because he didn't know how to use DoorDash. That's great. All right, so you're looking for someone motivated. What I try to stay away from is like if somebody's hard to work with or they're like trying to manipulate me on why it's not working for them, I want to stay far away.
Yeah.
Have you had any of that?
Yeah, for sure. You know, I think, like you said, and you're right, it's not that everyone's going to be successful in this. You definitely won't. It's very hard work, but it's very beneficial. And I think, you know, you have to be open-minded to what your situation is. I think that's the biggest thing. So if someone is telling you all the reasons it's not going to work, you have to think like flipping that mindset and try to think of all the reasons that it would work. And if you're thinking from, you know, that standpoint, I think you have a higher chance of, you know, making it work for yourself than telling yourself all the reasons why it's not going to.
Now, something I think that's cool is you guys have a lot of women
Hmm.
that are doing really well. So I just love seeing that. Like, can you tell us kind of what it's like being a girl selling life insurance, what to expect? And you don't have to go to people's homes, so it's not dangerous, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I did that.
I did that too
I did
in
that.
Chicago.
Yeah.
That was a little scary.
Yeah, but I still did it, and I would do it again if that's what I had to do now. But being able to do this over the phone is incredible. I mean, I have people on my team now who definitely wouldn't be able to do something like this if we still did it in home or wouldn't be where they're at. So I think that's
Mhm.
really cool. I mean, like, I have a girl on my team. She's a mom. She's got 2 little kids at home, and she's able to sit at home and sell life insurance, like, with her kids and not have to worry about getting up and doing a travel trip and where am I going to stay at this hotel and actually sacrificing time with her kids. She gets to have that time now, and she still is like selling at a high level. I think I'm a little bit like biased, but I think actually as women, like it is much easier for us to sell over the phone because people just trust us more naturally. Like when you pick up the phone, like they hear a woman's voice versus hearing a man's voice. Like I think it is a little bit easier for us. But it's a lot of hard work and it's worth it. I mean, I love it. I'm very proud of all the women that I have on our team and they're all crushing it. And I'm very proud of like the community that we have with the women on our team too. Everybody works very, very hard, and I have no doubt in my mind we're gonna have multiple women like walking across that stage next year. This year I have 3 that are getting awards.
What awards
2 over 200K, 1 over 300K
for the year?
for the year.
And you guys are just getting warmed up.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I
It's like-
texted her last night. I said, "You're gonna build."
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I have another girl I just started training. I mean, I was just working with her right before this, and I have been here, so I haven't had time to sit with her and dial, and she's closed 2 sales without me sitting there in front of her. She's just like getting on the phone, doing it, dialing the bronze leads, which I know is
Yeah.
what you run.
You run bronze leads?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, you want to hear something? She spent $150, collected referrals, and wrote $10,800.
Damn, we're gonna get into this.
Like the crazy part is when we hired them, I didn't get on one phone call with them. Like they just started posting sales in the chats. I'm like, "Who taught you guys the e-app?" And they're like, "What do
Just
you mean?"
figured
We
it
just
out.
Yourself.
Mhm.
Yeah.
like I was like, "Where did you buy leads?" And they're like, "We just figured it out." Like I still don't think I've done a training with
Well,
them.
the kids last night asked me that question. They were like, we don't want to recruit anyone until we have all of our systems in place. And I was like, dude,
No.
I don't even have system. I mean, this is my system. Here's a phone script and here's some leads and call all day. And then usually that's the real interview
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
they won't even do that. And if they don't do that, I'm not wasting any time with them.
Yeah.
If they do that though, then I'm like, okay,
Mhm.
I will invest time in helping this person and go through all these different things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But-
And that's how you learn. Is you got to fail.
The real interview is that will they even call? And like,
Mhm.
dude, I've had dudes quoting Zig Ziglar and John Maxwell quotes, and they look good, they smell good, they're in good shape, and then they don't even make 2 dials.
I
you
tell
know?
them to delete the post if I know who they are.
Delete what post?
Like they'll post like a John Maxwell quote or like a motivational quote, and I'll text them like, "Hey, delete that," because I'm like, "Dude, you're sleeping in your bed posting that right now."
Jay's pretty savage, huh?
Yeah.
Mhm.
I like it. That's good. Okay, so let's talk about this is actually the perfect topic because a lot of people don't have money to invest in leads when they start. You're getting the cheapest leads that most people wouldn't want to touch. I mean, I would, but
I love
most
them.
people wouldn't. You love them too?
I love those leads.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so how much are they per lead?
$1 per bronze.
And where do you get it?
The ILC store.
So Integrity Lead Center, and how many do you buy?
150 a week. So I spend $150 a week.
That's it, and you're gonna write 40K.
Yeah.
What if I'm an agent and I go, well, no one picks up the phone on those?
But they do.
They
You're
do.
not dialing enough.
Mhm.
Because I don't know. I always think like, if you're dialing 3 times per lead, you're going to get answers. So either you're not dialing enough or you don't have, whatever that is. But
Well, since triple dialing works in leads, I triple dial everybody. My mom, my grandma, my wife, my friends.
Mhm.
They get 3 phone calls every single time.
Well, if they've got that do not disturb on, you have to dial twice for it to go
Yeah.
through, and then you got to dial the 3rd time to hit the real double dial.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's how I think about it.
And
Yeah.
most, if you're calling bronze, a lot of times it's a little bit older generation where their kids have maybe set up those blockers on their phone. So the first time that you call, it doesn't go through anyways. Like you're saying, it doesn't
Mhm.
even have to be do not disturb. So
Yeah.
if you're not calling 3 times, you're not even really having the notification pop up.
So a bronze lead is someone who requested information on the internet. It's probably what?
6 to 8 months old.
Not even that, I don't think.
They've updated it.
Oh, they've updated.
I've had leads that are only like 2 weeks old.
Yeah.
It's actually
Whoa.
really like they've
Because
made
it's
some good
based on
changes.
score.
Yeah.
Oh,
not
like they filled
age.
it out all the way and stuff like that.
Yeah. It's based on
Ah.
score, not age.
That is sick.
So yeah, you could get some legit leads in
Mhm.
there. Yeah.
I mean, I asked her last night. I said, "So you clicked like 3 referrals per sit?" She goes, "No, 10."
Well, it just
I was like,
depends. Yeah.
10 referrals.
Mhm.
It's
Well,
been
she'll break
average
that
of
down.
yeah.
Well, I want to give you some objections on a bronze lead,
hmm
and then we'll get into you closing it, and then we'll get into referrals.
Okay.
So can you call me with a bronze lead?
Sure. Hey, Andrew, it's Christina Ande. How are ya?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Hey, I was actually just giving you a super quick call. You actually filled out my form online here. This is about the life insurance information for the state of South Dakota.
Okay.
Did you remember filling that out, right?
Yes.
Awesome. Hey, I know it took us a little while to get out to you. So sorry. Holidays have been crazy. We're really backed up here at the office. Go ahead and do me a favor. Just grab a pen and paper.
Okay.
Okay, awesome. Go ahead and take down my name, Christina Ande,
Okay.
my license number, my phone number. This is important. You're going to need to save that when we're done here.
Okay.
Okay, awesome. Now, when you filled this out, was this just for yourself or was this for someone else as well?
For me and my wife.
You and your wife. Awesome. Is she there with you?
She's at Pilates.
She's, my gosh, that's woman of my own taste. I love it. What is she doing? Reformer, Matt Pilates? What do we got going?
I think it's reformer. She
Ah,
wants me to
best
go,
way.
but I'm definitely not going ever.
You should go. You're going to have the shakes in the best way. Anyways, Andrew, I'm giving you a call here because we're going to get this set up for you. Do you make decisions alone or are you guys going to do this together?
I'll make the decision.
Awesome. Let's just go through it right now.
So you don't try to get both of them there.
It depends. If he says he makes the decisions and he's telling me confirmation that he's going to do his separate.
Because
I don't
usually I
mind.
wouldn't do that, but I would actually make the decision and
Yeah.
just do it anyways. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
But most people, I feel like you could get the objection like, well, let me talk to my wife.
Mhm.
So if I said that at the end, let me talk to my wife, would you be like, I thought you made the decisions?
Yeah. That's how I'm going to just solidify it. So I make sure I obviously ask that because if you don't, you go into it, you're going to have I need to think, I need to think about it. I have to talk to this person, my wife. Or,
So you're doing all call to closes or booking
Mhm.
all call to closes?
Yeah.
Jeez. That's crazy.
Yeah. And then the referrals are the best part.
So you don't pay a dialer.
No,
You don't pay no one.
I have Ringy.
You use
But-
Ringy.
I mean, it auto dials, but
Well, it's a power dialer.
Yeah.
It's not a multi-line dialer.
no.
Yeah.
That's about it. But I honestly, all of my referrals I don't put in to a system. I hand dial. And the only thing I really put in there is my leads. So
So what if I'm a new agent and I said I only have $100? This business isn't working for me because the gold leads suck. The bronze leads suck.
I'd say, let me call it. Give me your leads.
That's what I do. is
Let's see.
I just take their leads and dial it in front of them.
And we'll do it.
Now your team rips bronze leads, right?
We used to, as of 4 months ago, we changed everything to like IULs and higher intent leads.
But why not mix those in too? Why
We
would
do.
you?
No, we still mix them in. We still
Oh.
incorporate them.
Yeah, because like I always use those for fillers. Like if I didn't hit my numbers, then I'm gonna
Mhm.
get like 100 more leads for $100 and run through them.
Yeah, so that's what most people do is they'll buy like 80 leads of high intent that drip in.
Mhm.
And then while they're waiting for them to drip in, they call the bronze leads.
And I do one of those packs per month. So I do have like one pack of high intent leads per
Got it.
month. But my weekly order is just bronze.
I love it. Yeah, so you're doing both. I always tell people to do both because something could happen to a lead company or a lead type or changes or something, and then
Yeah.
it's like, what am I gonna do? So I've always done everything. I did final expense, mortgage, IUL, everything.
I think also if you want to have a team, you need to know how to run every lead type.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But this is interesting because there are people that could just sell referrals. They don't even need
Yeah.
leads, but that person is not me because I need leads and I'm addicted.
I love leads.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like crack. If I didn't have it, I'd be freaking out.
I'm starting to sell more leads, but my first probably 4 months
Yeah.
was all referrals. And it
There-
was referrals that I collected like over years that I just never got a hold of. And then I just kept building from that.
Okay, so let's keep going on your appointment. So you called
Mhm.
me. My wife's at Pilates. You definitely like made the call, not salesy by commenting like, "Oh, your legs will shake" and all that stuff, which is good. And then what do you do?
So I'm going to go right into, finding out what it's really for. So is this for final expenses? Are we looking to leave more behind? Again, obviously with bronze, those are usually pretty much final expense, but I'll still try to pitch an IUL if they're, if they can qualify for that. So just finding what it's for, of course, and then I go right into medical questions. It's pretty Pretty direct.
So ask me what it's for.
Okay, so is this going to be for, your final expenses? Were you guys looking to leave extra to each other? What exactly was this for?
Basically, just if something happens to me, I want to make sure my wife's taken care of.
Okay,
I
gotcha.
don't want another dude swooping in on her if I'm gone.
Yeah, absolutely. So making sure, she obviously is still financially stable if something happens to you as well.
Yeah.
Okay, so final expenses and leaving something extra behind, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, easy enough. Now, at the end of the day, I'm just kind of the middleman here. So what we're going to be able to do is actually go through your medical lifestyle questions to see what best program we have that you can actually qualify for. Okay, it's going to be me and you working against the insurance company. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, awesome. Are you smoker or non-smoker?
Non-smoker.
Okay, great. Then I'm going to go through basic. I don't know if you want me to go
No,
through all of
I don't wanna
those.
do all that.
But then once I get through medical, then I'm going to start asking about home, if they have a mortgage, if they don't have a mortgage.
I have a
income.
mortgage.
Okay, how many years are left?
25.
25. Okay, awesome. 5 years in. You guys
5
making
years
it a
in.
home?
Yeah.
Nice. Awesome. And then how much is left on that?
600,000.
Okay, awesome. And then what about, as far as your income? What is it looking like? Are you primary income? Does your wife work as well?
I'm primary, and it is like 150 a year.
Okay. What about your wife?
She has like a flower shop. That's like it's more of like a hobby though.
Okay, gotcha. So burning and churning a little bit.
Yeah.
That's okay. We
But
love a good
it
hobby.
keeps her happy.
Exactly. That's the best part of life. You're a good husband then. Good.
Thank you.
Okay, so we're about $150,000 a month, right? Or a year.
Yeah, a year. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. A month would be nice.
Jay is the one that makes 150,000.
I looked over and that's what I thought of. Okay, great. So what we're going to do is we're going to pull up some options here. Are you familiar with what a index universal life policy is?
No.
Okay. And then, of course, I'm going to go into explaining that if he could qualify. Now, let's say they can't, and I know that in advance based on medical, then I'm going to set up whole life versus term. And I usually will go over the difference. Like if they can qualify for IUL, I'm just going that route and making sure they know, what that entails and saying, does that make sense? They'll say yes. But if I know that maybe they can't qualify for IUL or term, then I'm going to go straight into whole
Final
life.
expense.
Yeah, final expense.
Okay, so let's say different scenario. I don't qualify,
Mm-hmm.
and you're gonna pitch me on final expense.
Okay. So, I mean, obviously with, depending on age and things like that, if you want to leave extra behind, something like 40,000 might not be enough. So, depending on what we can look at, I'm usually just going to show options based on that. So, I'm just going to kind of explain what whole life is, and then I'll go right into options.
Okay, so and then what's your closing line?
So, at the end of the day, obviously I don't make the final decision, the insurance company does. So, which option makes the most sense?
I think I like the big one for my wife.
Okay, we're going to go gold.
Yep.
Awesome. X amount of dollars per month. That's absolutely comfortable.
Yes.
Okay, awesome. So what we're going to do, we're going to put in an application for coverage here. Make sure you actually qualify. Let me go ahead and verify this is how you spell your first name.
Yeah.
And then I just go from there.
Yeah. Do you think that good salespeople get sold easy? Because I
Yeah.
feel like I buy people sell me easily.
No, I get sold like in the mall when they do the shoe cleaning stuff.
Yeah, like everything.
I
like,
buy that every time. I have like 8 of them at home.
Yeah.
I could see that.
Okay, so I want to go reverse now. Okay.
Okay.
Completely different scenario. I'm gonna be like super uptight, and I'm gonna tell you, well, I have life insurance,
Mm-hmm.
and it's a pretty good policy.
Mm-hmm.
What are you gonna say?
Okay, so what do you have?
It's like 200,000.
Okay, what company?
AIG.
Okay, AIG you said?
Yeah,
Okay, how long ago did you get that?
like 10 years ago.
10 years ago. Okay, how much are you paying?
Like $38 a month, and it
Oh.
lasts forever.
Okay, well, that's a term. Do you know what a term is?
No.
Okay, let me explain.
Okay.
So basically with the term, that's going to last, 10, 15, 20, 30 years. But at the end, it's going to have a termination date. Okay, that's when that policy ends. You're going to have to renew, requalify at that time. Your price is going to change. Are you aware of that?
No.
No. Okay, that's okay. You have your policy there?
I also have an accidental that covers everything.
Oh, accidental. That covers an accident, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So if something happened, God forbid you died in an accident, that's when that policy is going to pay out. So great job on setting that up. Definitely good to still have accidental. But right now, the main concern, you don't have anything permanent in place. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So that's what we're going to
But
take
I
care
also
of
have a
today.
rental property that if something happened to me, my wife would get the money from.
Oh, that's great. You guys have a rental. Where's your rental?
It's in Humble, California.
Oh, Humble. Okay. Gotcha. So with that, do you guys still have a remaining mortgage?
Yeah.
You do. Okay. So again, you did say before, right? You're the main income earner if something happened to you. Do you think your wife would still be able to take care of your current house and the rental property?
She probably could
She could?
because there's a tenant in there.
Okay. But what if you don't have a tenant?
Well, I have a good tenant. I'm planning on having one.
You're planning on having one? How?
I mean, it's a cool place.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Listen, you sound like a cool guy. I'm sure it's sick, but it doesn't mean that life always works out that way, right? So do you want to make sure that your wife doesn't have to worry about that?
Yeah.
Okay, great. That's what we're going to get taken care of.
Okay. What do you do in that objection? I got rentals. I got life insurance. I just wanted a quote.
Pretty much the same thing. I just keep asking questions.
What about you?
I say most families I work with have rental properties and a lot of money saved up in the bank account. So that's exactly why I would be reaching out to you, just because I've been doing this going on 5 years. So the majority of the families I work with are in your current position, and most people in your position have 3 to 4 life insurance policies. How many do you have?
One.
Okay, each policy is designed to do different things. Usually there's 4 major concerns. When it comes to life insurance, there's income protection, debt protection, mortgage protection, and just securing your retirement later on. So my job is to get the rest of the concerns taken care of for you, just because you got 1 out of the 4 taken care of.
Nice. So, someone taught me this later on. I wish I started doing it earlier, but I'd be like, okay, so, Jay, is that rental property for retirement?
Yes,
So it's for like you guys to use that money to retire?
correct, the cash flow.
Okay. So we're going to get this in place for you so you don't have to use that money for your final expenses and like debts or anything else that comes up, to make sure that you can still use that in retirement. That's what most people do in this situation. Like just literally separate, or be like, okay, so what's that life insurance designed to cover? Is it to replace your income? Yeah. Okay. So we're going to actually make sure that stays there to replace the income. And then we're going to take care of the final expenses so they don't have to use what they were going to use for income for the final expenses. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
And it just rips the objection away,
100%.
which is fun.
I've heard somebody else say, like, spend it.
Mm-hmm.
Spend it. If they already have coverage, spend it.
Yeah. But I used to get intimidated if they had coverage, and then I just was like, cool, like you need more.
They believe in it.
They're already buyers.
They believe in it.
They filled it out again.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Something happened.
I'd rather them have coverage than not, because they believe in it.
Yeah.
That some part of them knows it's important for their family. So, and nobody has ever died and said they had too much life insurance.
Yeah. Their
Or
wife,
their family.
their wife,
Their
never
family.
said
They've
it.
died, so they definitely.
Too
Actually,
much.
someone in here died and came back to life.
And he said, I didn't have enough or had too much.
And I was like, bro, what happened when you died?
I love too much money.
Because yeah, he died for like, I forgot, like 7 minutes or something.
Oh.
Wait,
Yeah.
is this real?
Yes.
Oh,
It was an agent that was just in here. Like
my gosh.
they got him to come back to life, but he did die for like 7 minutes. And so I was asking him what happened. But that's a story for another day.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Let's not get off track.
Cliffhanger. I thought you were kidding.
No. All right. So you run through, you close them, you guys get good at objections. You're not fighting other insurance companies or other policies. It's good that you have it. It's good that you have your IRA. Congratulations. You're in a very good spot. Let's get you in an even better one.
Mhm.
And then how do you build the why up to make me realize how important it is?
Yeah, as far as, I mean, especially if they already have coverage, kind of like you guys were just saying, like you want to spend it, separate it, but also there's a reason that they filled it out in the first place. It's not like we are just going and knocking on someone's door. They filled something out. So it's finding the reason that they first actually filled that out and then just kind of reiterating that back to them. So if you're telling me at the beginning because you want to make sure your wife is in a good spot, I'm just going to use that right before going into the close as the why. So whatever you've already told me, just kind of reiterating that back. The product sells itself, right? What life insurance does for someone's family, I think sells itself. It's just finding the why behind people and repeating that.
Awesome. Cool. And then what's motivating you to like work so like try to build something like this?
I mean, my why is building for my future family. I don't have kids yet. I'm engaged, newly engaged. So for me, everything that we do is building for the life that we want our children to have before they even exist.
Are you a dog mom?
I am.
What kind of dog?
Mini golden doodle.
Nice.
Are we surprised?
What's the name?
Luca.
Luca. Nice.
Yeah.
You got 2 dog moms right here.
Yeah.
Mhm.
We talk about it all the time.
Mhm.
Our dogs will be like laying behind us
On
on
Zoom.
Zoom.
Dude, so I used to say like if you talk to people about their dogs, they are buying.
Oh,
Mhm.
yeah. And like, I don't kick my dog out of my office area either. So if he like hears something and barks, I'm like, oh, sorry, you probably hear my dog. Like, it humanizes you.
Yeah, well, one lady was like breastfeeding while she was on Zoom and closing every deal.
I mean, she's a mom.
Because she's like, yeah, I'm a mom and I'm
Yeah.
working.
Working hard for the money.
Yeah.
That's cool. Okay, so once you get there, let's get to the referrals. So you,
Mhm.
well, how do you get good at objections? Like Jay, you just like did that right off the top of your head. Like you've practiced it 1,000,000 times.
Oh yeah.
How'd you get that good?
I would walk up to people's houses, and because I ran in-homes for the first 2 years, so in between no shows, I'd just walk up to people's houses and hear every objection. Like my goal was to hear all the objections. Like most people's goals are, I don't want to get any objections. I wanted to get all the objections, so I understood the ways to go around it and what to do what to do in that situation. Like you could hit me with the most random stuff in the world. Like I called somebody and they're like, "Yeah, I'm part of the tribe." I'm like, "Yeah, most families I work with are part of the tribe." I'm a savage. I love sales though. I love psychology and stuff.
You almost love hard things, it seems like.
Yeah.
Like because you were talking about how you liked getting sued.
Yeah. Like it just sounds cool to me though.
And then you were talking about how you were happy when you got 100K roll-up debt.
Yeah. I was bragging. I was screenshotting it and sent it to everybody.
The first time I got roll up dead, I actually thought of Jay, like because of the stories he would tell about how he'd be excited about it, and that's how I approached it. Is I'm like, hell yeah!
You know how badass? I was
I used-
21.
I'm like, it finally happened to me. I'm gonna get through this, and I'm gonna be better for it. Like hell yeah!
So I used to do something when someone would call me, they go, man, somebody rolled debt to me. And I would always go, dude, congratulations. And they go, why? I go, welcome to the big leagues.
Mm-hmm.
And I would spin it as something. It's just like
It's like a rite of passage.
Yeah.
Like what Sean always said though is like, you weren't complaining when you got the override.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, the other thing is the carriers have made it harder for people to write BS debt,
Mhm.
which
Yeah.
has made this business even better. Nicolette, how'd they make it better for like debt?
I mean, the bank validation on a lot of these applications is huge. The carrier's not paying until
The money
the
hits.
draft, until the money hits.
AI is like
Yeah.
like finding out if it's doesn't make sense.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
they're following the trends too. Like if your
Yeah.
average premium's like $200 a month
Mm-hmm.
and you just started like a month or two ago, like they're following that trend.
I
Yeah.
always wanted to make this website deadbeatagents.com and then post the agents that sell bad business on there with their faces.
Like America's Most Wanted
Yeah.
agent.
Insurance.
Yeah.
is the most
And we can rank them.
Who rolled the most debt?
Just who's the biggest loser. Wouldn't that be cool?
That actually would be a.
Actually, would be awesome. Yeah.
People would write very clean business. You'd
Mhm.
be like,
You know-
I don't want to be on that website.
It reminds me of China. You know, there's ATMs in China that when you take out your card, they have a leaderboard of who has the most money in the account.
They do?
Yeah,
Are you sure?
I'm like 99% certain.
That's crazy.
That sounds dangerous.
Yeah,
It
but no,
does
they
sound
have like a
dangerous.
leaderboard on it now.
That's crazy. All right, so we're gonna get to referrals. What do you say to get the referrals?
So, main thing that I think a lot of people pass over is beneficiaries. I start there first. It's the easiest way to get 2 to 3 names and numbers. So really just when I'm filling out the application, everything it already asks for on the application, first and last name, phone number, date of birth. I'm just making sure that that information I have on the app, but I also have it on paper. And then I'm just asking what's the best time to reach them. After I collect the beneficiaries, I just simply say, okay, listen, obviously this is going to go, let's say husband and wife both have policies. They put their kids as contingent beneficiaries. Say if something happens to, your wife prior to you, vice versa, we have to make sure we have a backup person, that knows that they're going to be taking care of this. So you have your two kids. I'm going to make sure I reach out to them so they know exactly how this policy works. Okay. Now, do you want me to just go over the name of the company and the policy number, or the full policy? 9 out of 10 times they're going to say full policy. And so I say, okay, great. Make sure you let them know I'm going to be reaching out between this time and this time. I'm going to go over that, and then we'll make sure they're taken care of with their life insurance as well. So that's simple.
Beast. Okay.
That's 2 to 3 names. If they don't, let's say they just have one beneficiary. I just had this earlier. I had a ref sale this morning while you guys were doing the last one, but he only had one beneficiary, which was his wife that I already had sold last week. And I said, okay, well, you don't have a backup person. He's like, well, no, our kids are young. I'm like, okay, so until the kids are older, let's say something happens to Tammy, who do you want, to be at least emergency contact, someone who knows about this policy? Because we want to make sure someone at least knows where it is, where to find your policy, where it's going to be located. We'll go from there. And so just an easy way to get an extra person who will know about the policy, same exact thing. And then I say every single time, okay, great. We'll make sure your best friend, Joey, that he is taken care of with his life insurance as well. That's easy.
So do you ask, how do you ask for more?
At the end. So after I solidify my sale, I'll give them my information, say their information's being cleared out, or if it's another referral, just kind of make sure they save my contact, all of that stuff. I basically just go through and I use an acronym VIBS. So value, important, beneficial, and suggest. And I basically just have them give me a rating. So I'll say, hey, very last thing, and I'll get you off the phone here. Scale of 1 to 10, how did I do for you today? 10. Great, awesome, so happy I was able to help you. Of everything we went over, what was most important that we took care of? They'll solidify their sale. And I say, okay, great. Obviously, I'm going to reach out to your beneficiaries like we spoke of, right? So you're going to make sure right after this, you give them a call. We'll make sure they're taken care of. Other than that, I know there has to be some other people in your life that'll really benefit from what we went over. So,
or a review.
What was that?
Or review their current situation. Do you ever say that? I can review their current policies and see if we can put them in a better situation. I
usually just leave it more broad, and I'll say I know there's some people that will really benefit from the information we went over, the life insurance itself. Let's go ahead and start with your siblings. I know you said you're one of 5 kids. Who's the oldest sibling? And then I just assume it. So I'm going to assume anyone that I gained through
Will you just keep writing?
Yeah.
Dude, imagine how much premium we could do if everybody did this.
Well, dude, FFL would quadruple.
I need one of those dog shot collars on though to remind me, because I would forget all the time.
It takes, I always say to agents, it takes 2 minutes to get yourself set up with your next 5 sales.
What people don't realize, dude, let's say they do $8,000 a month and they sell 8 people. That's 8 times 3. That's 24 referrals. Let's say referrals are an 80% close ratio, 70%. Let's say they suck and it's 30%. That's 7 people at $84 a month times 12. That's an extra $7,000 a month. So they went from writing $8,000 to writing $15,000.
No, dude, it's silly. The fact that, because leads to me isn't really real sales.
No, they
referrals is.
Yeah.
And you have, not only the best ROI, but you also have longevity.
Retention.
That's the biggest thing that I think, we work on is making sure that that policy stays on the book forever. I'm sorry, but if I sell mom, dad, brother, sister, kids, if one of the kids don't pay their policy, I'm calling mom. I'm saying, oh my gosh, what's going on? And I can, because I have that relationship. So policies don't fall off.
I gotta because I learned to stay in touch with clients, ask for referrals after years of having bad persistency. And then I had somebody call me yesterday, hey, you helped my friend with all her stuff and her family with all her stuff. And she was like, I have $100,000 I want to roll into something for an annuity she said you could help with. And I wrote her a $300 a month NLG, like just from like 5 years ago from planting all these seeds, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's huge. And that's another great thing is when you build genuine relationships with your clients, they're going to reach back out to you. But imagine if you checked in with them every 3 months and asked for more names and numbers.
I always also would write something down about the person. So the next time I talk to them, and I would save it in their contact, like their dog's name.
Yeah.
I'd be like, how's the dog? How's the little Chihuahua doing? Or, how's Timmy's football practice going?
Mhm.
Or whatever. And they're just like, dude, they're shocked that I even remembered any of that.
I do that too. And then also handwritten cards. I think that's huge. Handwritten card with business cards in it, with a little note at the bottom that says, the referral of your friends or family is, the highest compliment I could receive. Pass these out and make sure to let me know if anyone else in your life needs life insurance.
That's good.
Just easy.
We
and
sent
simple.
a customer card out. Drew, I remember what it said. We sent two.
What did it say?
It said, "Hey, I just had a baby, so if you need more my wife and I just had a baby. So if you need more insurance, call us now."
That's actually funny.
And everyone was like, "Dude, that's offensive." And I was like, "I don't know. At least it's gonna get people's attention,
Yeah.
and not just get thrown away."
And you'd be surprised, like how many people, especially like, long-term clients will be like, sure, we can up the coverage a little bit. Like,
Yeah.
it is funny.
Yeah. That's dope though. So you're killing it. You're building a team. How can someone reach you if they wanted to work with you?
Instagram, Christina Ande, Ande, and
Christina spelled how?
Christina.
Okay. So Christina Ande, Instagram. What
Mhm.
about an email?
ChristinaRoseAnde@gmail.com. Rose spelled Rose. And then a phone number 732-516-8061.
Dope. So if you want to work with this team, hit her up. They're crushing it and doing a bunch of cool stuff. So thank you guys for coming in. Thank you for joining us. See you later, guys.
Thanks.
Thank you.